friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie 495. Day in that neighborhood. My brothers and sisters, it is the start of a new week over here on our channel. And we gonna start this week off right, because we going back to the man, also known as the Lazy Man, better known as Lazy Masquerade. Back to the Lazy Man, y'all. Hope y'all doing excelente out there today, and I'm glad that you came on back to the channel once again to fuck with the bean. And the title of the video is Last Photos and Videos with Disturbing Backstories. Whenever, hey man, I do this. It seems like I do this every time, y'all. We're about to get into a Lazy Man video and I read the title, especially when he do the last photos and video with the backstories and stuff like that, or the disturbing things he found on the internet. I'm always just like, man, I'm just ready to freaking get into it. And he put this video out 4 days ago, but y'all know how our schedule is, man. But we finally getting around to it. And like I said, I'm just ready to get into it. But before we get into it, my brothers and sisters, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. We back to the Lazy Man. Masquerade. Y'all got what y'all need. Y'all ready to go? Then let's go. The Lazy.
If, like me, you want to enjoy your favorite music,
The Lazy will hit commercials. Get them Raycons, man. Get them Raycons. You know what I'm saying? Look at my boy Lazy Man. Lazy Man always looking good. Shout out to the Lazy Man. And if you want them Raycons / Lazy Masquerade, well, / Masquerade, you know what I'm saying? Get 20% off. Shout out to the Lazy, as always. Take it back right here, and let's go.
free shipping.
Let's go. The darkest selfie.
This was the Western Complex of Continuous Education, situated in Moscow, Russia. An institution for students too disruptive to attend ordinary high school. A place for the unruly and academically uninterested to learn a trade skill such as woodworking. One of the school's former students was 18-year-old Andrei Amelyanikov, a quiet and introverted young man who was sent to the complex because of his terrible attendance record at his previous school. The problem Andrei had was that he was far more interested in playing video games than studying. Now, of course, most boys his age would rather be playing Dark Souls than learning about dark matter, but Andrei whittled away nearly all of his waking hours in front of his computer screen and barely ever showed up for any of his classes. An institution with tougher, no-nonsense educators was just the boot up the backside that Andrei needed. At least, that's what everyone hoped. Though he had few friends in the real world, Andrei was extremely active on gaming forums and had built himself a fairly large social circle online. One of those internet friends, Margarita, described him as a completely ordinary guy with a good sense of humour. Though obviously, when you're dealing with people through a monitor, you can never truly be sure they are the person that they present themselves to be.
True.
Indeed, Andrei seemed to be living vicariously through the sites he visited and the games he played. His avatar was the fanatical antagonist from Silent Hill 4, The Room, Walter Sullivan, a calm and shy killer who, in the game, carved a string of numbers into his victims, and who ended his own existence by severing an artery in his neck.
And this probably what happened to him, y'all. Like, it's people out here that get so deep off into playing them freaking games till they start believing that they actually the character in the game. Like, they start taking the game as if it's real life, you know what I'm saying? And just hits the time spent that he playing these games. He seemed like one of those type. Let's see.
But what his fellow forum users didn't know was that Andre didn't just appreciate Walter Sullivan. He idolized him. In the latter months of 2017, Andre began complaining to his friends online about his health and safety lecturer, Sergei Danilov. The pair had gotten into numerous disputes that semester. A former army officer and father of 3, Mr. Danilov didn't tolerate bad behavior, backchat, or tardiness, and it's believed that Andre's apathy during his classes was the cause of much friction. One of their so-called conflicts had gotten so heated that Mr. Danilov was preparing to have Andre expelled from the Polytechnic. Andre would tell his friends, "I'm gonna kill that guy sooner or later." But since dark and edgy humour made up about half of their friendship circle's conversations, nobody took him seriously.
Yeah.
Such jokes were common on our forum, recounted one former user. We didn't pay those comments much attention. One thing the other users did pick up on though, was how Andre began ending his messages with the hashtag 11117. When they asked him what the number was meant to signify, Andre never explained, but its purpose soon became crystal clear.
Oh.
On November 1st, 2017, Andre attended his Wednesday classes on Gavardeskaya Street as per usual, but his studies were the last thing on his mind. During a break period, Andre made his way to Mr. Danilov's classroom on campus and found the lecturer alone, his back facing the door. With a toothpick in his mouth and a kitchen knife in his hand, Andre quietly approached Mr. Danilov from behind and, in a furious rage, plunged the blade into his neck. The 44-year-old health and safety teacher collapsed to the floor, unable to scream for help. Andre then posed for 2 selfies, one with his victim's body, which I can't show here, and a second, which I can. Andre posted this image to his VK page immediately after taking Sergei Danilov's life, along with a song by Chicago-based band November's Doom. In the image, a gleeful Andre posed with a power saw which he had taken from the school's workshop, his toothpick still hanging from his mouth. But he didn't take this photo as a sick memento to look back on in years to come, but rather as a memento mori for others to think on. Minutes after posting this photo, Andre would use that same saw to slice his own throat.
Oh shit! Hell no! And I don't know if the audio effed up for a second over there on y'all end, my brothers and sisters. But when it came back in, I know I just heard that damn same saw. He just killed the freaking teacher, and now the same saw that he taking that picture with, he used that to slice his freaking throat, just like the damn character in the game. Y'all see what I'm saying, man? Y'all see how life can imitate, like how some people get so deep off into these freaking games to they make the games imitate life or life imitate the game, vice versa, whatever. Oh my God. I hope y'all could hear, because for a second I couldn't hear, but we heard the most crazy part of that. Let's hope we don't have no more technical difficulties. Let's go.
Enter the class and find Mr. Danilov lying in the middle of the room and Sergei under one of the desks. Medics were summoned, but the 2 men were deemed DOA. Speaking of their fallen teacher, Mr. Danilov, an anonymous student said, "He was a very kind person. He was strict, but he was fair. He was like a father to us. I have no single bad thought about him. Regardless of what was happening, he was our support. He always tried to help us." The band November's Doom also spoke out about the incident, stating in a press release, "To the families and friends of all involved, our utmost and sincere apologies for the pain you're going through, and we as a collective hope you find the strength to get through this unfortunate event. We do not and would never condone this sort of use of our art and our music. We create the style of music we do to reach people on an emotional level, and the thought of it being used for something like this sickens us beyond words." The authorities have since determined that Andre was motivated by a so-called online death group, whose members egged each other on to play games of life or death, though how they came to that conclusion remains unclear.
Listen, my brothers, that was a crazy one to start us off, man. Just that picture of him taking a picture, and didn't he have like a little smile on his face, like a little smirk on his face while he taking a picture with a freaking saw that he gonna use to freaking end his own life with? Like, dude, oh my God, let's go.
Born in 1954, Rosario Endrenal grew up in a relatively poor household. Thanks to her high IQ, good looks, and bubbly personality though, Charo, as she preferred to be called, had managed to make a decent life for herself. She married a man named Luis Rodriguez, and in 1981 they welcomed their daughter, Xantal, into the world. Thanks to her fluency in foreign languages, Charo landed herself a well-paying job at the Spanish superstore Brica. Things fell apart for Charo in 1995 when she ran off with an executive from her company, a Frenchman named Jean. Jean got Charo hooked on cocaine, and before long, her fondness for the substance spiraled out of control. She would go on to lose her job, and having had his fun, Jean abandoned Charo on the streets of Paris, leaving her with nothing but a lifelong addiction to remember him by.
That is so fucked up, man. That is so fucked up for you to have someone fall in love with you, then you get them hooked on a freaking drug, then you abandon them while they're a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just effed up. You just literally just effed up Charo life. Just destroyed it.
Charo returned to Barcelona and tried to reconnect with her husband and daughter, but by that point, they had turned their back on her. Now homeless and jobless, Charo would spend the next 5 years alone, sleeping inside a CaixaBank ground floor vestibule, a small enclosed area that housed an ATM. The bank was located in the affluent San Gervasi neighborhood, and Charo had once worked there before falling on hard times. In the early hours of December 16th, 2005, a now 51-year-old Charo was again sleeping on a bed of cardboard in that same enclosed booth. At about 1:30 a.m., two 18-year-olds whom she had never met, Ricard Pinilla and Oriol Plana, entered the booth and began to hurl insults at Charo. They kicked her, threw garbage at her, and struck her with a plastic bottle and a traffic cone, after which the two men went outside to find more items to hit her with. This photo captured the moment that Charo managed to lock them both outside of the vestibule, and, unable to get back inside, the men departed. This was unfortunately far from the first time that such an occurrence had happened to Charo. She had often been attacked by other territorial homeless people and angry drunks. As such, she knew that calling the police wouldn't achieve anything, and so, now believing herself to be safe, Charo simply laid down and went back to sleep.
This is just bullshit to me, man, because it's like, why y'all even attacking her? Why y'all fucking with this lady? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just doing this just to be on some low-down evil-ish. You know what I'm saying? For no reason.
Several hours later, at 4:20 a.m., a 16-year-old named Juan Jose Mera knocked on the booth's door and told Charo that he needed to use the ATM. Charo let him in, unaware that Juan Jose was in cahoots with Ricard and Oriol. This image of Charo opening the door is the last captured of her alive. Juan Jose, Ricard, and Oriol entered the booth and began mocking and attacking Charo once again. Ricard and Juan Jose then left briefly, and 30 minutes later returned with 25 litres of Universal Thinner 039, an industrial paint thinner. As Oriol held the door open, Juan Jose and Ricard doused Charo in the flammable substance. Ricard then ignited her using his cigarette. They fled the scene, laughing as Charo was engulfed in flames that burned at 400 degrees Celsius. Firefighters arrived at the scene shortly thereafter and found Charo clinging to life with 70% of her body covered in burns. She would pass away 28 hours later while receiving treatment. The whole incident was captured by one of the bank's surveillance cameras. The footage sparked nationwide outrage in Spain, and the attackers were quickly identified and arrested.
Good, man. They ass need to be arrested. They ass need to See, these the type of motherfuckers that you goddamn just, as soon as you arrest them and you find them guilty, you put their ass on that chair and you electrocute them to death, or you put the damn drugs in them. However you gotta kill them. I don't give a fuck if you gotta hang them or cut their head off. Like, seriously, y'all, these are the type of motherfuckers that need to just get the death penalty. It go back to what I was saying earlier. Like, why is they fucking with this lady? Like, you fucking with her for no reason. But they took it to a whole nother level. To not only did they kill her, they killing her in the worst type of way. Why in the hell are y'all setting this lady on fire? What the freak did this lady do to you? A lady whose life just done been destroyed. She had a way better life till she got on these drugs. But at this time, it ain't like she's a nuisance to y'all. Y'all just some young motherfuckers who just doing some evil low down shit. And guess what? Goddamn, two wrongs don't make a right, but goddamn rights make wrong sometimes too. I know I ain't making no sense, man. All I'm saying is sometimes goddamn y'all got to goddamn feel some of this fire too. No pun intended. They need to goddamn be set on fire in fucking prison or something, man. People gotta stop thinking that they can get away with doing this horrible stuff to somebody, especially like people who ain't did nothing to you, ain't bothered you, don't know you from shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with you in your life, but you decide to pick on me and torture me to the point where you kill me. No, you need to feel some of that too. I'm telling y'all, my brothers and sisters, long story short, short story long, they better not never let me be able to decide how some of these murderers have to be held accountable, because I'm gonna make sure that they ass is held accountable. Let's go.
Once in custody, Ricard and Oriol were severely beaten by other inmates, and one of them had their head shaved. Juan Jose's case was handled by the juvenile court. During their trial, Ricard and Oriol's defense team attempted to downgrade their charge from murder to manslaughter, claiming the fire was started accidentally. The jury saw through that, especially when the prosecution revealed videos found on Ricard's phone. Videos which showed the trio attacking and humiliating other homeless people. As would come to light, the three defendants were ideologically opposed to homelessness, but rather than try and help the less fortunate through charitable means, they decided they wanted to simply wipe them from the streets of Spain. In November 2008, Ricard and Oriol were each given a 17-year sentence for intentionally ending Charo's life, while Juan Jose received 8 years behind bars and 5 years of supervised release. Given this incident occurred more than 18 years ago, all three of them are now free men. In fact, Ricard was released early in 2016, having served just 11 years. He justified his past actions by saying he was insecure and had low self-esteem, and claims to feel extreme remorse. Though personally, I'm skeptical. Charo's daughter, Santal, has since expressed that the three killers did more than just end Charo's life that day. They also destroyed any chance of the mother and daughter reconciling. Perhaps, on a day like today, my mother could have decided to accept help and become again the woman she had once been. But that opportunity was taken away from her.
You got to be fucking shitting me, my brothers and sisters. What the fuck did we just hear, y'all? I'm sorry. Hide the children. Hide the children real quick. Turn it, pause it, do whatever you gotta do, man. Put your damn AirPods in like I got in right now. Because hell to the motherfucking no, man. Are you kidding me? These motherfuckers got away with this shit, essentially. All of them, free men, as we speak. They set this damn lady on fucking fire. This shit is murder times a million. Times a gazillion. What the? Man, goddamn Lazy Masquerade. The lazy man is bringing some emotions out of me today that I did not expect. I knew it was going to be a good video, but I did not know that this shit was going to be pissing me off like this. This is bullshit, man. Are you? Man, my brothers and Bean Team. Ain't nowhere in the hell them dudes should be free right now. There is, like, what is life? Can we make sense of something around here? Can we make some sense sometime? This is more stupid than them doing the stupid shit. The fact that they got away with it is even more stupid than them doing it. Let me stop. Let me stop. I apologize, y'all. I apologize to all y'all that the volume a little cranked up and maybe your ears started to hurt a little bit, man. I apologize. But this is BS. Real talk. Let's go.
This is the last photo of Nirupama Prajapati, captured mere moments before her life came to an abrupt end. On January 3rd, 2021, Nirupama and her friends were picnicking near a scenic waterfall in India's Kanakund, otherwise known as the Grand Canyon of Odisha. After their meal, the group decided to walk towards the banks of the raging Ib River and take some pictures for their social media pages. Immediately after this image was taken, Nirupama turned her focus to capturing the perfect selfie along the Ib's rocky ledge. One of her companions filmed what happened next. A man who also happened to be taking selfies beside the churning waters lost his balance and inadvertently nudged Nirupama, causing her to lose her footing and tumble into the rapids. The water was shallow but incredibly strong, and though Nirupama managed to cling to the rocks briefly, she was soon overpowered by the current and swept downstream. Following a grueling 22-hour search by the fire brigade and her loved ones, Nirupama's remains were located the following day in a stone crevice 400 meters downstream, wedged under a rock. She had been carried over the nearby waterfall. Unfortunately, Nirupama's case is just one in a long line of selfie-related fatalities in India. In recent years, tourists have fallen from great heights, been struck by cars and trains, and been mauled by wildlife, all while trying to snap the perfect selfie. In 2018, for instance, a man in the same state of Odisha was attacked by a wild bear after he tried to pose for a photo with it. A disturbing video later surfaced of an angry crowd beating the animal to death as punishment. In a separate incident, a Japanese tourist was trying to take a selfie at the Taj Mahal when he lost his footing and tumbled to his doom down a staircase. And those are but two examples. According to a study published by the Journal of Travel Medicine, there have been at least 379 selfie-related deaths over the past 13 years, far more than the 90 fatal encounters with sharks during that same timeframe. Unfortunately, the pursuit of the perfect picture can cause some individuals to disregard safety precautions, prioritizing likes over their own lives. And of all the
That is crazy once you think about it, y'all. It been 379 freaking deaths from people just taking selfies in dangerous situations and something effed up happened. And just looking at that lady in that picture, y'all. Just looking at her in that picture and how happy she is. You know what I'm saying, man? Not knowing literally, not even a minute later, you gonna be in that damn you gonna be in that water and you about to lose your life. And I don't even want to blame the dude who kind of bumped into her at all, because I don't think he did that on purpose. It didn't look like he did it on purpose, man. That shit can happen to anybody, man. And Jesus Christ, she lost her life to it. But like I said, y'all, freaking all those deaths in that time span or time frame, but shark attacks is even less than that, man. My brothers and sisters, I understand you want to get some cool ass pictures and you want to, you know, show off on your social media or whatever. I get it, but be motherfucking safe. Stay safe. Stay safe.
countries examined in the study, India had the most selfie-related deaths by far, accounting for 26.4% of the total, followed by the United States at 10.3%. As a result, the Indian government, as well as numerous other governments around the world, are now beginning to take action against this growing epidemic by implementing no selfie zones, particularly in areas with steep drops and bodies of water. These measures are designed to encourage people to take in their surroundings and view life through their own eyes rather than through a phone screen, not only so that they can enjoy a more authentic travel experience, but a safer one too. In essence, they're saying that it's better to live in the moment than to risk dying in it.
Ooh. Boy, Lazy Man just dropped some knowledge, y'all. He just dropped something that if I had a pen and paper, I'd write it down. What did he just say, Being Team? He just said it's better to live in the moment than to die in the moment. Like, that is some real ish, my brothers and sisters. That is some real sugar honey iced tea. Real talk, man. It's way better to live in that goddamn moment than to die in that moment. Don't take it that far where you don't even live past the moment. It's way better to live past the moment than that. Let that be your last moment. You know what I'm saying, man? Man, y'all just be careful on serious, man, taking these freaking pictures, man. I understand, especially when people go on vacation. They be out in these places that they ain't been before. You know what I'm saying, man? You know, you want to live your life and have fun and do new things, but be safe. And when you know something is got even a little chance of maybe it's not safe, you know what I'm saying? They just don't freaking take the picture right there. Go somewhere where it's safe and take the picture. I feel like all of them in a way should have never been that freaking close to the damn edge of the damn riverbank or whatever you want to call it anyway. But if you're gonna be that close, you need to not be trying to take a damn picture while you there. Long story short, story long, man. Rest in peace to her. And this has been a crazy but great video from the ladies, man. We got one more story to go. So let's go. Ladies code.
In many ways, K-pop could be described as the Marmite of the music world. Those who love it seem to really love it, and those who don't, really don't. For the sake of my like to dislike ratio, I'm not passing judgment. But whether you consider the music a boon or a bane, for all its gloss and polish, K-pop has an undeniable dark side. Performers are often subjected to notoriously grueling training schedules, frequently face mistreatment and exploitation, and are often discarded when they fail to live up to the industry's impossible standards. Idols who value their careers, public image, and bank balance are sometimes pressured by their labels into silence, threatened with lawsuits if they try to speak out. But it's through adversity that the strongest bonds are forged. This is Ladies Code, a K-pop quintet whose original lineup consisted of members Sojung, Zuni, Eunbi, Rise, and their leader, Ashley. They formed back in 2012, and though they weren't as big as other contemporary acts, I'm told they were considered rising stars, with a few early hits under their belt. Though it's unknown whether Ladies Code had to deal with any maltreatment from their agency, Polaris Entertainment, who have been the subject of several scandals, I must say, these 5 ladies had formed an unbreakable connection, and described themselves as sisters. Of all of them, however, the 2 closest members were undoubtedly Rise and Eunbi. The pair weren't only best friends, but roommates, inseparable both on stage and off. The 2 girls were always side by side, smiling and having fun, as can be seen in this photo, posted to Ashley's Twitter page. It would be the last photo to show all 5 members together. You see, shortly after this image was posted, the unthinkable would occur. It was September 2nd, 2014, and Ladies Code were recording a segment for the KBS Live Open concert in Daegu, South Korea. This footage shows them performing that very evening. After filming the concert, the girls and one of their stylists hopped into a van driven by their road manager, a man known only as Mr. Park. Together, they set off on an ill-fated journey back to Seoul, making a pit stop just after midnight. It was now September 3rd, and the group were in high spirits, given that it was Sojung's 21st birthday. When Sojung returned from the bathroom, the other members surprised her with a makeshift cake made from choco pies. However, concerned about weight gain, they all decided not to eat it. A decision Sojung would later deeply regret. It was approximately 1:30 AM. Conditions were rainy on the Yongdong Expressway, and Mr. Park was speeding at 85 miles per hour in a zone marked 60. While approaching Singal Junction, just outside the capital, the van began hydroplaning and skidding. Mr. Park lost control of the vehicle, and witnesses reported seeing the van roll several times before colliding with a guardrail. Park, who had maintained consciousness, immediately called for help. Of the 7 occupants, 4 were able to exit the vehicle and flag down ambulances, while the other 3, Eunbi, Rise, and Sojung, remained unconscious inside. None of the airbags had deployed at the moment of impact, and a first responder said he didn't recall undoing any seatbelts while attending to the 3 women. The situation was described as extremely chaotic, with Rise found not to be breathing and requiring immediate CPR. All 7 occupants were rushed to nearby hospitals. Umbi was pronounced dead on arrival at the Sungbin Medical Center.
Damn, man.
She was 21 years old.
Damn.
Sojung and Rise, who sustained the most severe injuries, were initially taken to the Catholic University of Korea St. Vincent's in a critical condition. Rise's condition worsened, and she was transferred to Ajo University Hospital for emergency brain surgery. She succumbed to her injuries and passed away on the morning of September 7th, 2014. Sojung's condition was eventually stabilized. Ashley, Zuni, Mr. Park and the stylist sustained minor injuries and were released after treatment. Shortly after the incident, the media descended upon the crash site, and these images began circulating online.
Ooh.
Several keen-eyed internet users noticed something in the wreckage. A banana plush. It was the late Umbi's favourite toy, given to her by a fan. She had talked about it in interviews, and said how she slept with it whenever she felt lonely. Frustratingly, the paparazzi were said to have acted disgracefully at both women's funerals, ignoring their families' requests for privacy and snapping close-ups of grieving guests without their permission. In court, Mr. Park testified that one of the van's back wheels had come off while he was driving, which led to him skidding and crashing, but experts determined that the wheel had actually detached as a result of the crash itself. Park was sentenced to a year and 2 months in jail in 2015, a sentence which was later suspended, provided that he attend 40 hours of driving classes. He would eventually...
I was just about to say, man, I don't know if the driver should be at fault at all in this. I mean, he was speeding, supposedly, but I don't know. I don't think that was his intention to get any of these young women killed. So I don't know. That's shocking that he even got a sentence. I don't know. Maybe y'all feel different, but I don't feel like he was at fault for real for this. Sometimes stuff just happens, man, especially when you dealing with driving in cars and he on the road and he hydroplane. Like you really can't control your car from hydroplaning. The only thing you can control is the before or the before getting into the hydroplane. But once you in it, you in it. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't know, y'all. Let's go.
Eventually settle with the families of Umbi and Rise out of court. Following the accident, the 3 surviving members of Ladies Code continued to perform together. Their first show was held in Rise's native homeland, Japan, and was dedicated to both her and her fallen sister, Umbi. It had always been Rise's dream to perform in Yokohama, a dream she herself never got to realize. Despite their promising future, Ashley, Sojung, and Zuni went on an indefinite hiatus following the expiration of their contract with Polaris, finding it too difficult to continue performing after what happened. Though the memory of that terrible night still lives on in their minds, so do thoughts of the good times. Times like this, when all 5 of them were together.
Man, that's crazy, man. Just looking at that picture, y'all, is just crazy, man, because it's like one of those times where you with your friends or your family or whoever, and you just don't realize in that moment that this gonna be your last time with them, and they don't realize that this is their last time taking a freaking picture. You know what I'm saying, man? Life is crazy, y'all. Life is so real, man. This stuff is real, y'all. We ain't gonna be here forever. I know y'all may hate to hear it, and I ain't gonna say I like to say it, man, but I'm just keeping it 100. I'm keeping it 100, my brothers and sisters. I'm keeping it real, man. We ain't gonna be here forever, and it just make you just want to cherish every moment that you be here and just try to just do the best you can that every moment you here. Not take it for granted, man. Woo wee! I said this about Ryan from Tragedy Tales latest video that we watched. I was like, man, this probably the best video we watched from him. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, and we have watched plenty of the lazy man, but man, I feel like this might be his best video, y'all. It's like they just continue to get better, man. It's not like the Lazy Man, Mr. Baller, that chapter, whoever, Coffee Man, whoever, man, Jose Ortiz. It's like all of them just continue to get better with their videos, y'all. And I just freaking love it, man. And this one, it was crazy. The main thing, let's go run them down real quick. Let's run them down. And we just start right here with the last one that we saw. Rest in peace to those girls that lost their life. And it, like I said, man, it's just one of those instances where you with your family members and friends, and then they was involved in the accident with the girls who lost their life. You know what I'm saying? That would make it even more tragic. But some kind of way you kept your life, God is good, but they lost theirs. You know what I'm saying? And it just make you question. And people lie. Anybody who say they ain't never questioned God in their life, you lying. Whether you wanted to do it or not, whether it was consciously or subconsciously, we have all had questions of why. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those predicaments they was in, like, why God, like, why you took them but you ain't take me? You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible, man. That's just terrible. Long story short, short story long. The one before that, the lady who fell off into the river, she got bumped by the dude. And like I said, I don't feel like the dude tried to do that on purpose, my brothers and sisters. It was just one of those things where it is what it is, man. And y'all just be careful trying to take these damn pictures for Instagram. The freaking likes will never be worth your freaking life. And I'm not saying that's why she was doing that. I'm just saying, man, just freaking be careful. The one before that, Cheryl. This lady, like these, oh my God, y'all, I know I went on a rant earlier and I'm not even finna get back on that level. I'm not about to do that again with y'all, man. Not this video, man. All I'm gonna say is, bro, sis, God damn, man, like how in the fuck did they get off with that shit? How in the hell could you freaking sit up there and just, first, this lady never did, let me calm down. This lady never did nothing to them. They just was picking on her. And then not only did they pick on her, they ended her life. And then the way that they ended her life by setting her on fire. Like, and then they get off from it. All of them free as I'm speaking right now. As you hearing it right now, they are suffering no consequences from that. Whatever. The one before that, this is the very first one we started off with, my brothers and sisters. With the dude, I don't know, man. Like I said, man, some people go crazy with these freaking video games and stuff. They start looking at them characters. They start believing that they really them characters. And he really was on that ish. And not only did he take his life, but he took somebody else with him. You know what I'm saying? And he took the person's life before he even took his. Well, do that even make sense, my brothers and sisters? As far as like, he took his life, and then he could, I'm saying, like, real quick. No, okay, that don't make sense, man. You can't take your life, then take somebody else's life. So what the fuck ever, man. But all I'm saying is, man, not only did he take the other person's life, but he took his also, man. And it's just like, the whole character that he was playing in this video game was on that same type ish, and he carried it out in real life. I digress, my brothers and sisters. I'm finna stop with y'all, man. This was a great freaking one from the lazy, man. I appreciate y'all coming on back as always, man. Y'all just please make sure that y'all hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that if you ain't did that yet. And come on back tomorrow for another That Chapter Wednesday. But until then, my friends, remember this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.